Alright, in this video we'll be looking at sine rule, finding the size of an angle. So we'll use sine rule to find for an angle. The condition, two sides and an angle opposite one of the side must be given. So before we can find an angle using the sine rule, two sides must be given. So here we have two examples. So let me name this as example 1, and here we have example 2. Good. So the condition says that two sides and an angle opposite one of the side must be given. So here we are given two sides and the angle must be opposite one of the sides. So if you look at this angle, the angle is opposite one of the side. So the angle is actually opposite 12. So here we are given two sides and we are given an angle opposite one of the side. Good. And if you remember from the last video when we looked at finding the length of a side using same sine rule, there are two variations to the formula. This is the most popular used one. So the sine rule formula have three parts: 1, 2, 3. A over sine A equal B over sine B equals C over sine C. But only two parts is needed for a question. Good. So it all depends on the two sides that are given. Since this is a non-right angle triangle, the opposite side I will label in common letters. So opposite A will equals to that. Here is C will equals there, and B there. So in this question, find for angle A and B. So there are two angles we need to find for. We want to find for angle A and angle B. And we also understand that the triangle is made up of 180 degrees. So if we find for one of the angle, let's say we find for angle A, we can easily add angle A and angle C and subtract it from 180 degrees to get angle B. Good. So the two sides that are given is side A and side C. So therefore, from the formula, which have three parts, we'll only use A and C. So let's say in the question we was given side A and B, we would have used these two parts of the formula. So we'll write our formula. A over sine A equals to C over sine C. Good. So all we need to do is to do our substitution. A is 15 over sine A. Well, we want to find for sine A presently, so we don't know this angle. So I'll just write back sine A equals C, which is given as 12, so that will be 12 over sine C. The capital letter represents the angle, so it will be 45. Good, and we'll write our answer to the nearest degree. Okay, so since we have one fraction on the left hand side, one fraction on the right hand side, we can cross multiply. So sine A will multiply by that, so we cross multiply it like this. Good, so since we want to find for sine A, it's best for us to write it on the left hand side, so it will be sine A times 12, or let's say if you want to write 12 times sine A, no problem. And then we have 15 times sine 45. The best thing to do is to write the number in front. Write the number and then. But here I just write the number at the back. But it doesn't matter. You can write sine A times 12 or 12 times sine A. And again we can write sine 45 times 15 or leave it as 15 times sine 45. Good. So what I need to find for is sine A. So I'll take the 12 across. It will divide. So therefore sine A will equals to 15 times sine 45 over 12. Good. So if we like, we can do our calculation here, but let us not do anything as yet. We want to find for angle A. So what I'll do with this sine, I'll take it on the other side. I'll become sine inverse. Good. So I'll have A will equals to sine inverse all of this. So let me put that in bracket. 15 times sine 45 over 12. And now the calculator, we'll use a calculator to help us to find for angle A. Good, so all you need to do is to enter all of this on your calculator. Okay, let's see. So we have second function, so we have sine inverse in brackets. What do we have? 15 times sine 45. 15 times sine 45 divided by what number? 12. Close my bracket. Let's see. What do we have? 62.1 degrees, right? Since we want to write it to the nearest whole number, our answer will be 62 degrees. So I'll write 62 degrees there. Good, so angle A is 62 degrees. We need to find for angle B. What I'll do, so since I know angle A, we know that angle A plus angle B. Okay, let me write it like this. Okay, A plus B plus C. These the capital letters represent the angle, will give us 180 degrees. So what you need to do is to add the 62 plus the 45 and subtract it from 180 to get angle C. And we can use this little symbol. This symbol represents angle. So angle C is actually equals to 180 minus, let us add 45 plus 62. And we can use our calculator. 180 minus, in brackets I have 45 plus 62, close my bracket. What do I have? 73 degrees. So angle C will equal to 73 degrees. Good. So that's our first problem. Our second problem. Find for, again the symbol represents angle, find for angle PQR to one decimal place. Okay, whenever you are given a question like this, find for angle PQR. So PQR, so we are talking about this angle. The angle is always the middle letter, so since it's PQR, it will be angle Q we need to find for. So we want to find for angle Q to one decimal place. I will label the opposite side in common letters, so opposite Q, we'll have common Q, opposite R equals to common R. Okay, so if you notice with this formula, or this question, the triangle is labeled with different letters, not the common letters A, B, and C. Good, so our formula here, let's see, the two sides that are given is R and Q. So our formula, let's say if this was A and B, it would have just been A and B, but since it's R and Q, I'll put R over sine R. Always remember this one is the common letter, this one will be the capital letter, Q over sine Q. Okay, so all we need to do now is to substitute. What do we have? R, the first thing there is R. Okay, R is 12. I have a little fly in the video. Okay, so we have 12 over sine R, which is angle R. That's 46. And Q, which is 11 over sine Q. Well, this is unknown. We don't know this as yet. This is what we need to find for. Now we cross multiply. So I write sine Q times 12, or could have write 12 times sine Q equals to 11 times sine 46. If you like, you can take off this multiplication, right? If let's say if you write 11 sine 46, that's fine, right? Good, so I want to find for angle Q. Let us take across the 12 first. So sine Q will equal, since the 12 is multiplying, I will divide on the other side. Good. And now I'll take the sine across since I want to find for angle Q. So sine inverse, all of this, times sine 46 divided by 12. Okay, now we'll use our calculator and then we'll write our answer to one decimal place. Let's see what we'll have. Good, so second function, sine, that's how I got sine inverse in brackets. I'll put 11 times sine 40. 11. Okay, if you like, you can eliminate the multiplication sign. 11 sine 40, because 11 sine 40 means 11 times sine 40, right? So you don't need to put the multiplication sign, but if you do, no problem. Divided by what, 12, and then close our bracket. What do we have? 36.1 degrees if we round off to one decimal place. So our answer will be 36.1 degrees.